Hey guys, Jacob with Jacob Comics. Alright, here we are tonight on a spooky night reading a spooky book, Carnage number 3. Alright, and before we get dived right on into the issue, I do want to let you guys know about the 200 subscriber giveaway. Now, when we hit 200 subscribers, we're going to be giving this book away. It's the Joker number 1, Mark Brooks variant cover, and all you have to do is like, comment, and be subscribed to the channel, and that's going to enter you to win. And also, who wins, they're going to get a CBCA sticker, which is the Comic Book Community Awards. And that's kind of like the Oscars for YouTube personalities like myself. And a comic book channel that's much bigger than me is going to win that. But hey, I'm trying to spread the word, and you guys should check that out on Brian LCS's channel. Now let's get dived right on into the review. Now, we got a couple things to cover, as always, before we get dived into it. First off, I do want to let you guys know that we're going to go heavy into spoilers. So if you don't want to be, spoiled for Carnage number 3, that's your warning. Next off, we always got to shout out the creative team, because without the creative team, we wouldn't have a comic book. So first off, we have Ram V as the writer, Roj Antonio is the artist, Dijo Lima is the color artist, and VC's Joe Sabino is the letterer. Now we start with a foreword that reads, "Years ago, the Venom symbiote spawned, and its offspring bonded to serial killer Cletus Cassidy. Imbued with incredible strength, speed, endurance, and powers similar to those of the Amazing Spider-Man, Cassidy and his extraterrestrial other share a unique bond and have long terrorized the Marvel Universe as Carnage. Carnage is loose, rejected by its former host, the dangerous serial killer Cletus Cassidy. The Carnage symbiote is on its own for the first time in its life. But the impression Cletus left on the creature is indelible, and the symbiote has inherited his unquenchable thirst for violence. He has also found a disciple, Kenneth Neely, a serial killer, albeit a sniveling and cowardly one, who has been leaving messages for the symbiote in his gruesome crime scenes. Now, Neely is along for the ride as the symbiote has begun targeting super-powered individuals, starting with Hydro Man and now the Spot. And we start. Spot says, "Carnage, I don't understand. Why are you doing this?" Carnage says, "I want access to the spotted dimension." Spot says, I could just help you access it. We don't have to do this." Carnage says, "That you could. But where's the carnage in that?" And we see as he jumps through a spot portal, but the serial killer that's helping Carnage grabs onto Spot. Spot tries to jump through the ring portal and ends up getting his hand cut off. Although Carnage is able to get a hold of Spot and kill Spot, and he says, "You've run out of spots." And Spot says, "You can't kill me. I will return. I have the spotted dimension." Carnage says, "Yes, I'm counting on it." And the serial killer says, "You cut off my hand." And Carnage says, "Tisk, tisk. Look at you and your pitiful whimpering. Still, you gave up a piece of yourself for me. You might even grasp what it is to be my host after all." And he says, You'll help me then?" And Carnage says, "With that, it's only a little scratch, Kenneth. Come. I'm sure we can find a way to patch you up." And we transport to Detective Jonathan Shade, who, if you haven't been following, he currently has a piece of the Carnage symbiote in him, except he seems to have control over it. And so it's talking in his head like Venom would talk to Eddie Brock. Think of it like that. So it's talking to Shade, and he ends up calling it Cletus. So I'm just gonna call it Cletus. So Cletus says to Shade, "Oh, they patched you up real good, didn't they? If only they could look into your head like I can. They'd see what a mess you are on the inside, Jonathan. Just a little puddle of insecurity, loneliness, sadness, and rage. It's so pathetic and depressing inside your little box, Jonathan. And yet you stay within it like a good little boy, drawing inside the lines just like Mommy taught you. Are you still trying to make Mommy proud after she called you names for wetting the bed, John John?" And Shade grabs his head and he says, "Shut up!" And a detective walks by in the office and says, "You okay there, Shade?" And he says, yeah, thanks. It's just a headache." And he says, "Damn reports, huh?" And Cletus says to Shade, "Screw that guy. Does anyone know what his name is? Look at him with his smug waddle. Don't you just want to stick a pin into his eyeball?" Stu. Who the hell names their child Stu? I'd have opened up Stu's parents just for that. Or maybe we should pay a visit to the lieutenant's office. I hear he keeps dirty magazines in the bottom drawer. A punishable offense, I'm sure." And Shade stands up and, "No, stop it!" and realizes, like, oh my gosh, I'm right in front of everybody here in the office. So he kind of storms up the steps all the way to the roof, and then starts talking to Cletus, and Cletus says, "Oh, come now, John. You're not going to jump, are you?" And Shade says, "What, no? Listen, you little piece of junk. I came up here to talk so the rest of the people down there don't think I'm losing it." Cletus says, "You could have just picked up a phone, you know. You are losing it, John. You do know I'm just a voice in your head, don't you?" And Shade says, "But I know you're not mine. You rode in on the symbiote stuff Carnage healed me with." Cletus says, "Smarter than you look." And Shade says, "So what'll it take to shut you up?" Cletus says, "I'm bored. I need entertainment, preferably involving sharp objects." Shade replies, "How am I supposed to entertain you while I'm stuck here typing out reports?" And Cletus says, "There you go, drawing inside the lines again. I gave you so much the last time, John. I told you what Carnage was doing, and what did you do? Ran it up the ladder like a good little soldier. And where did that get you? Where has it gotten you your whole life, John?" Shade replies, "I'm good at what I do. I catch bad guys." Cletus says, "You haven't even begun to see what bad really looks like. Carnage and his little pet are as bad as it gets. You want to stop them? You're going to have to break some rules." Shade says, "And you? What do you get out of it?" And Cletus says, "Me? I'm just a voice in your head, remember?" Shade says, "Well, what do I call you then, so I don't sound strange talking to myself?" And Cletus says, "I think the ship might have sailed on that one." And Cletus. You can call me Cletus. As Shade walks up to a situation, crime scenes happened, and he's, supposed to be taking fingerprints of bloody handprints and things of that nature. And as he's walking away, he's kind of talking about this new case here with this with his partner, and it's like his best friend. Like if you've been watching, he's talking with Booth, and the Carnage symbiote kind of messes with him and makes him think he should have punched Booth, and Booth is because he does the same thing again, and Booth's like, "John, you okay, pal?" And Shade says, "Oh, I'm fine, just a headache, gonna head out." And Booth says, "I'll see you back at the station, okay?" And Cletus says, "You should have caved his face in. All that rage, just imagine how it'd feel to let it all out." And Shade says, "Shut the heck up, Cletus. I got what I wanted." And Cletus says, "You saw it then?" Shade says, the only brochure that was out of place on the mantle, a road map of the area, opened to read eastward. But there's nothing east of here, just stretches of abandoned old factories and mills. And Cletus says, ha, that old dog Carnage, he's still following my plan. Shade says, what plan? And Cletus says, long story. I'll catch you up sometime. But Carnage and Neely went east to find Dr. Jonathan On. Shade says, On? He's the guy with the Spot? Carnage went after Spot? And Cletus says, and if I know Carnage, and I do know Carnage, we're probably too late to do anything about it. Shade replies, I should call it in. And Cletus says back, you could, but then you'd have to explain how you found out, and then they'll put you in Ravencroft and never let you out. Or we could skip ahead to the next part of the plan and go to the observatory, see if we can head him off there. Shade replies, the observatory, but why? And then we go back to the serial killer Kenneth Neely and Carnage, and he's kind of wrapping his hand up in a bandage, and he's like, Carnage, why? And I gave up a hand to help you. I want to know why we're doing this. And Carnage replies, careful, Kenneth. Look at all these people. They have given up much more to me. Just because you gave your hand through some combination of choice and accident, you think that makes you special? And Neely replies, no, I didn't mean to. I just want to know how you think, act, just like Cletus would have. Carnage, or whoever this is now, says, Sigh, it was Cletus's idea. You see, Dr. Halliday, we watched you on the television speaking about Einstein-Rosen bridges and sending particles across dimensions. Then there was a spark of an idea, the beginnings of a thought when the dragons came. Then under the rapture of a Clintar god, as we ran amok, we had a taste of the kind of power we had never imagined. Then Venom, Eddie Brock, became the King in Black. Do you know how it feels to hold the power of a god in your hand and then watch someone you hate take it for their own? So Cletus began to think of a plan, a way to elevate ourselves. If we could not be a god, then we would be the thing that kills gods. But then Cletus never acted on it before he went away, and I thought to myself, what if he was only holding me back? So go on, Dr. Halliday, power up your machine, while I use what I took from Morris Bench and Jonathan On to reach across space worlds, universes, to find just how far I can truly go. You gave up your hand for me, Kenneth, as a reward. You can come along if you want. And Neely says, Where are we going? And Carnage replies, to kill gods, of course. As at the same time, Shade's running up, not quite in time, to see Carnage taking off using the laboratory's thing to go into space. I just want to show you like the last 2 pages here. So there's he's talking about when Venom killed the King in Black and how that made him angry, and then you can come with me if you want. And then check this out, as he kind of takes the guy with him and goes in the portal here. Slade comes up, and as you can see, like that's what Slade Slade kind of looks like when he gets angry or like his powers start coming out. Kind of gets like a red eye, and yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, guys. So that is Carnage number 3. I'm definitely enjoying the story by Ram V and Roge Antonio. Man, the artwork in this issue. Props to Roge Antonio. Big thumbs up. I I uh I really like it. You know, it's got just that kind of wild style that fits Carnage really well. But he's dialed in and able to do faces and stuff like because you know what I'm saying, you have the other story with Slade and his partner, and so man, this has been a really good read right now, guys. I don't know if I want to say it's like an underrated run. I haven't heard too many people talking about it. A lot of people, some I have heard some people, so I feel like the people that are reading it are really enjoying it, and I'm one of the people that's reading it. I'm definitely enjoying it. I got to give Carnage number 3 a big thumbs up. Ram V. I I kind of feel like I predicted it from the beginning. I was like, they can't be doing an ongoing without a hero, and we have this hero in Slade, and I'm curious to see what happens with that. Like, I, I'm hard waiting for a name, like a name drop, for them for him and this Cletus symbiote that he's bonded with to finally decide that they're symbiote pairs, right? And come up with a name. Like, this is our name. Now we are this, right? Like, all the symbiotes have done. So I'm hard waiting for them to come up with a name and kind of maybe show some more of a costume. They're teasing it out. But that makes me anticipate the next issue a little bit more, including the fact that they're giving me each time they give me an answer to one question too, they pose another question, so I'm definitely hooked in. Yeah, man. All right, guys, that's what I have today. Carnage number 3 gets a thumbs up. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe for your chance to win the Joker number 1 Mark Brooks variant cover and the awesome CBCA sticker. And if you guys like this kind of content and you want to help support the channel, hey, click the link below and shop on my eBay store. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow, and have a great day.